Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that you made it back. It's me, SB. Today I have another crochet tutorial, and what we're going to be making is this. As you can see, I am going to be making a crochet hanging pod, bag, basket, whatever you want to call it, wall pocket. Yeah. And this kind of, I got inspiration to do this from a Pinterest picture, I believe, that I saw of a hanging basket pod thing. It was like macrame. So I was like, hey, that seems like it's going to take a long time to macrame. So let's crochet it. So here it is. Today I'm going to be using hobby ribbon yarn, and this is color 14, and I'm also going to be using black, which is color 7 on hobby.com. I've recently purchased a lot of these, because why not? And this is going to be a perfect way to make a durable bag. As you saw in the clip before, it is pretty durable and it can stretch and hold a lot. You see that? Yeah, that's like, I don't know, what, 60 of those little rainbow cotton skeins from Hobby. Anyways, the hook that you're gonna need is a 7mm hook. So yeah, let's go ahead and get to it. I am going to put a link to the written pattern in the description below. If you want the written pattern, it will be available for free on Ravelry.com. So we are going to be starting with color A, and whatever color that you want color A to be, go ahead and write that in on your pattern, because I left a little blank spot right there so you could write it in. I am going to be starting with black, so I'm just going to start with my black, which is going to be color A. And what I am going to be doing is I am going to be making a magic circle, and basically that's just an adjustable ring. Okay, now we are going to do 8 single crochets in our adjustable ring. And be sure to have a stitch marker handy, so that way we can mark that first stitch, because we want to be able to identify it. We are going to be working in spirals. 7, 8. All right. Okay, now we're ready for round 2. This round, we're going to increase every single stitch, and at the same time, we're going to go ahead and weave in our tail. So make sure you have your stitch marker in the first stitch. Let's go ahead and remove that. Place 2 single crochets into that first stitch. Being sure to mark your first stitch, because we don't want to lose track of that. Alright, and 2 single crochet in every single stitch around, and that'll make for 16 single crochet. So go ahead and do that. Okay, you should have 16 single crochet, and pretty much from here on out we are going to be making a flat circle. So if you know how to do that, you can go ahead and skip ahead. So round 3 is going to be an increase round, and we are going to put 1 single crochet into the first stitch, and be sure to mark the start of your new round. And we're going to increase the next stitch. One single crochet into the next stitch, and increase into the next stitch. This is going to be the repeat pattern all the way to the end. So go ahead and repeat that. I will put it up on the screen. Okay, on your last stitch, you should end with an increase. So if you didn't end with an increase, you might have counted wrong. So go ahead and count back, and you should have 24 single crochets. Okay, for round 4, we are going to be doing another increase round. And remember, we're making a flat circle. Now on this round, I am going to be alternating my increases so that way we can keep it kind of round. And what I mean by alternating is I'm just going to switch where I'm putting my increases. So this round I am going to put an increase into my first stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and increase my first stitch and place my stitch marker in my first stitch. We are going to be doing 2 single crochets. So 1, 2, increase into the next stitch. And now we are going to repeat that increase, 2 single crochet all the way to the end. At the end of round 4, you should end with a 2 single crochet. Okay, at the end of round 4, you should have a total of 32 single crochets. And now we're going to move on to round 5. In round 5, we're going to do it the traditional way, and we are going to put 3 single crochets into the next 3 single crochets. Remember to mark your first stitch. And then in your 4th single crochet, you are going to increase. And this is going to be the repeat pattern for the rest of the round. Okay, at the end of round 5, you should have an increase on your last stitch. And you should also have a total of 40 stitches all the way around. All right, time for round 6. In round 6, we are going to single crochet into the next 4 stitches. So make sure to mark that first stitch. 2, 3, and 4. And we are going to increase into that 5th stitch. And this is going to be the pattern that we are going to repeat all the way around. Alright, so in your last stitch on the 6th round, you should have an increase. And you should also have a total of 48 stitches. So now we're going to move on to round 7. And round 7 is where we are going to go ahead and start with an increase in our first stitch. And be sure to mark your first stitch. And we are going to put 5 single crochets into the next 5 stitches. And this is going to be your repeat patterns. Okay, you should end with 5 single crochet into the next 5 stitches before your stitch marker. And you should have a total of 56 stitches on this round. And our next round will be round 8. Okay, in this round you are going to put 6 single crochet into the next 6 stitches. Remember to place your marker into the first stitch of the round. And in the 7th stitch, you are going to increase. This is going to be the repeat pattern that you're going to do all the way around to the end. So yeah, I will meet you back here at the end of the round. Alright, at the end of your round 8, you should end with an increase into your last stitch. Okay, and now for round 9, and in round 9 we are going to single crochet into the next 7 stitches, remembering to move your starting marker up. And in your 8th stitch, we are going to increase. And this is going to be the repeating pattern all the way around. At the end of round 9, you should have a total of 72 single crochets. So go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, at the end of round 9, you should end with an increase into the last stitch. Okay, on to round 10. And in round 10, we are going to increase into our first stitch. And we are going to put 8 single crochets into the next 8 stitches. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And this is going to be your repeating pattern. So go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you at the end. Alright, at the end of round 10, you should have ended with 8 single crochets. On to the last round of our increases, and this is going to be round 11. And in this round, we are going to single crochet into the next 9 single crochets or 9 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And in the 10th stitch, we are going to increase. And this is going to be the repeat pattern all the way around until you reach the end. At the end of round 11, you should have a total of 88 single crochets. All Alright, at the end of round 11, you should end with an increase in your last stitch. So from rounds 12 to 20, you are just going to single crochet all the way around. So once I get my rows done, I will cut in and show you how to attach your new color. On the last stitch of your 20th round, we are going to be switching to our new color. So go ahead and grab the color that you chose. In my case, it's going to be color 14. So in order to change your colors without it looking a little bit funky, you're just going to leave your, of course, your color A attached, and we are going to switch to our color B. And to do this, we're just going to work half of our single crochet, which is where you just have 2 loops on your hook, and we're going to grab our new color. And what I do is I just leave it as a loop. I don't make a slip knot or anything, and then you just finish that single crochet. Okay, so right here, after you get your new yarn attached and ready to go, you have a choice. You can either just cut your old yarn or the old color that you were working with and go ahead and make a little knot here, just like this, just to hold everything in place. And on the next round, weave in your ends. And so I'm just going to cut my black here and go ahead and set that aside. And I'm going to go ahead and work my next round. 1 single crochet into the next stitch, which is our first stitch of our next round. And now we're going to start doing our spike stitches. So if you have the written pattern out in front of you, it's going to say SPSC pattern, and that just means spike single crochet. Okay, for the first spike single crochet, we are going to work 1 below. So we're going to count, basically we're not counting that first round, we're going to go directly below it. So that'll be 1 below. And for the next one, we are going to go 2 below. So we're not counting the current round that we're working. We're going to count 1 and 2, and that's the one that we're going to go into. And for the next one, we are going to do 3 below. So we're going to count. So that's the row we're working. 1, 2, 3. And this is what it should look like so far. And for the next spike row, we're going to be going back up, and we're going to count 2 below. So 1, 2. The next one's going to be 1 below. So 1. And that's what it should look like. And now in our next 3 stitches, we are going to put 3 single crochet. 1, 2, and 3. And this is going to be your repeat pattern all the way around until you reach the last 2 stitches. So we're going to go 1 below. The next one is going to be 2 below. 1, 2. The next one's going to be 3 below. 1, 2, 3. And you may have to be adjusting your stitches a little bit. And then the next one's going to be 2 below. One below. And then 3 single crochets into our next 3 stitches. now we're just going to repeat that all the way around until you get to the end, and I will meet you back here. Okay, so here we are at the end of the round, and you should have 2 single crochet left. So go ahead and put 2 single crochet into those last 2 stitches. Okay, now we are going to start the next rounds, which are going to be rounds 22 through 24. And on these rounds, all you are going to do is single crochet all the way around in color B, and you're going to switch to color A at the end of round 24, and I will meet you back here whenever I get those rounds done. Okay, so we are at the end of our round 24, and in our last stitch we are going to go ahead and yarn over and pull through in our color B, and we are going to go ahead and switch over to our color A. We're just going to single crochet into that first stitch. And I am going to go ahead and cut my yarn here. So now we're going to be working on round 25, which is going to be a repeat of our spike stitch pattern. So we're just going to repeat our spike stitch pattern or our spike single crochet, and working 1 below our current working row. Two below, so 1, 2, and then 3 below, 1, 2, 3. Being sure to adjust your stitches. And now this one's going to be 2 below. And 1 below. And you should have something that looks like this. Now when you're working in spirals, your rows, or your rounds rather, are going to start shifting over a little bit. That's fine. This is just the way it's going to work. And then we are going to single crochet 3 into the next 3 stitches. And that is going to be the repeat pattern that you are going to repeat all the way around until you reach the end of round 25. And on round 26 through 30, you are just going to single crochet in every single stitch. So I'll have it up on the screen for you so you can pause and continue. I am going to finish up my rounds with my color A, and I'll meet you back here when we're going to switch back to color B. So go ahead and do that. Here I am at the end of round 30, and I have 1 stitch left. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and attach my color B in the same manner that I've been doing it the whole time. let's move on to round 31. And in this one, it's going to be exactly the same way as the previous round 25. And we're just going to repeat our spike single crochet pattern, and yeah. So just in case you forgot, we are going to single crochet into the first stitch, and then we're going to do our spike single crochet pattern. And you're just going to repeat the spike single crochet pattern all the way around until you get to the end, being sure to put 2 single crochet into the last 2 stitches of your round, and this will be round 31. And for rounds 32 through 36, all you're going to do is single crochet all the way around until you hit round 36. And I will be back at the end of round 36 to show you what we do next. So go ahead and complete all of that. Here we are at the end of round 36, and I'm going to go ahead and change to my color A. So now we're going to start round 37. This is going to be worked exactly the same way as round 31. This is just going to be a spike single crochet and your regular single crochets. So I'll go ahead and show that. And we are just going to repeat that all the way around until you reach the end, ensuring that you end with 2 single crochet into the last 2 stitches. And also, like the previous rounds, we are going to go ahead and just single crochet around for rounds 38 through 40, and this is 3 rounds. And you are going to be switching colors in the last stitch on round 40. So I'll meet you back here at the end of round 40. So I'm at the end of round 40, so I'm going to go ahead and attach my color B. Okay, so now that we have our new yarn attached, we are going to start round 41. And round 41 is going to be the start of our shaping. And in order to do that, we are going to start with decreases. So we are going to decrease 3 times. So let's go ahead and do that. Now we are going to do 36 single crochets. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So 36 single crochets. After our 36 single crochet, we are going to decrease 3 times. And now we are going to do 40 single crochet all the way to the end. and 40. Okay, so now we are going to be starting our next round, which is round 42, and you should have a total of 82 single crochets. So go ahead and single crochet around for round 42. Round 43, we are going to do 35 single crochet. And now we are going to decrease 6 times. So let's go ahead and decrease 6 times. And 6. After your 6 decreases, you will do 35 single crochet. So go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you at the end. So in the last stitch of this round, which is round 43, we are going to go ahead and switch back to our color A. And now we're going to start round 44, which all you're going to do is single crochet around for 76 single crochets. So go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you back here at the end. Next round is round 45, and in this round we are going to single crochet 32 stitches. So let's go ahead and single crochet 32. After the 32 single crochet, you are going to decrease 6 times. And after your decreases, go ahead and single crochet 32 all the way to the end. On to round 46. On round 46, all we're going to do is single crochet around, and you should have a total of 70 single crochets. And this is technically going to be the last round. So on our very, very last round that we are going to do, we are going to do the loop, and you can choose to either do it in color A or color B. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and single crochet around, and I'll meet you back at the end where we will make our loop. So now we are at the end of round 46, and what we're going to do is we're just going to create a chain, which is a chain 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wow, you are really loud with that licking and chewing right underneath the microphone too. Okay. So we have our chain 12, and what we're going to do is we are going to slip stitch into our first stitch. So just go into the same stitch where your stitch marker is and just slip stitch into it. And I'm going to remove my marker. We don't need it anymore. And now for our row 2 of our loop, I am going to go ahead and slip stitch into my next stitch, and this is going to act like our turning chain. And now we're going to turn our work, and we're going to be working in the opposite side of our chain. Pretty much I'm just going to work into one loop of my chain, and we're just going to work single crochets all the way across, or you can slip stitch. It's entirely up to you, making sure that you have 12 stitches total. Okay, once you get done doing your 12 stitches, go ahead and slip stitch into that next stitch next to where you started your chain. And this is just going to make it look a little neater once you get done. And there you go, your loop is done. Let's go ahead and fasten off our work. And now all that's left to do is to weave in your ends. And if you did what I did, really all that entails is cutting your yarns off and being done with it. So I'll go ahead and do that right now. And there we go. All right, we are done. Wow, this was a long journey, but if you made it, congratulations. You have this nice little wall, pocket, pod, hanging basket, whatever. It is super huge. It holds a lot of stuff. As you can see, I just threw a bunch of yarn in there, and it really is amazing. I mean, I cannot believe how big it is. I am definitely gonna make maybe another one. I don't know, but anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Keep on crafting. Bye.